Welcome to Exploring Forearm Stand or Pincha Mayurasana. This class focuses on building strength in the shoulders to support opening to a safe range of motion needed to find your forearm stand. We'll play with a series of transition poses and variations of yogi squat with Gomukasana arm binds to help engage your core and open your shoulders in preparation for your Pincha. You won't need any props for this one, so go ahead and grab your mat because we are getting started right now. Welcome to practice. We'll start building strength for Pincha Mayurasana in a seating position. Go ahead and reach your arms up, bending into your right elbow. And the left hand grabs hold of the elbow, wrapping it forward and then lifting it up. So instead of sticking out here like a chicken wing, we're bringing it in and up. This is helping with the stability of our shoulder joint, as well as the mobility in our shoulder, chest, and upper back. So the chin wants to dip here. Just go ahead and lift your chin up off of your chest and find your breath. And if it's available, you could wrap that left arm behind you, thumb pointing down, and bring this into the full Gomukasana arms, finding your breath here. The left shoulder is wrapping forward a little bit, so think about the shoulder blade on the left side and move it into the flesh of your back. Breathe here. For 3. And 2. Good, and 1. We'll slowly release that. Just go ahead and roll your shoulders out a few times, forward to back. And we'll move into the second side. Reaching your arms up, bend into the left elbow, taking the left hand between the shoulder blades. The right hand grabs the elbow, wrapping forward and lifting up. And then lift the chin off of the chest and breathe here. You can take it into the full Gomukasana arm, wrapping the right arm behind you. Finding the bind and feeling the right shoulder blade moving into the flesh of your back for this. Find the breath here for 3 and 2. Good, and 1. Go ahead and slowly release. Turn to the front of your mat. And from here, coming into a tabletop position, but replacing your hands with your forearms. So the forearms are parallel, palms facing down. We're gonna move into a cat-cow variation with the elbows down. Breathe in, pull the heart and the chest forward. And as you breathe out, pull the navel to the spine and round into the back body. Good, again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more, breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. And last time, breathe in and breathe out. Now straightening the arms and walking your hands forward, keeping your hips stacked over your knees, coming into Anahatasana. So Anahata is the heart chakra, and we're moving the heart towards the yoga mat. You might be able to rest your forehead on the ground. You might be able to get the chin, the heart, and chest on the ground. Either version, you're lifting your elbows up off of the mat. So again, we're protecting the shoulders by actually activating the muscles in the arms rather than just dumping into it. So keeping those elbows lifted, the arms super active, and breathe. For 3 and 2. On 1, slowly release, coming back into that tabletop position. Good, and then tuck all 10 toes under, find your way back into a downward facing dog from here. You can pedal out the feet since it's your first down dog. And we're gonna slowly start to walk the feet up to the top of the mat, and really slow. I wanna work into your hamstrings as you come forward. So take your time to bring those feet up. Feel the stretch in the back of the legs. Opening into the hamstrings and the back body is extremely helpful when working on getting up into a Pincha position, a forearm stand. So walking it up to the top of your mat. From here, inhale, fingers to shins, lengthen. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead, coming into a little back bend. Lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Moving into Sun Salute A. So go ahead and inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Lengthen your spine on the in-breath. Stepping the left foot back as you exhale, keeping the toes tucked and releasing the knee down. Inhale, come all the way up into that low lunge. And for this first one, as you exhale, just bend the elbows, bringing the hands behind the head and lift the head and chest up. So we'll hold here just for a couple of breaths. Elbows moving in and up, heart lifting for 3, 2, and 1. Releasing the hands down. Step back to plank position and dropping the knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale, roll through into Cobra pose. Exhale, pressing back, tabletop, tucking the toes under into downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, coming into the low lunge, lifting arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the head and chest up. Heart reaches towards the ceiling. Breathing here for 3, and 2, and 1. Go ahead and release the hands down. Step forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Good, arms reach all the way up and overhead. Little back bend here. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, stepping the left foot back. 1 breath per movement now. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Step back to plank, knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Stepping the left foot forward. Inhale, rise to low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat, step forward, top of the mat. Lengthen on the in-breath. Fold on the exhale. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Little back bend here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, 1 more round. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, stepping that left foot to the back of the mat. Come into your low lunge, big breath. And release. Hands down. Step back to plank, lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, rise, low lunge. Exhale, release. Hands to the mat, step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Arms all the way up, come into that back bend. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. All right, again, inhale, reach your arms up. And this time as you exhale, step your feet a little bit wider and come all the way down into a squatting position. So finding your yogi squat, your malasana here. Hips are low, heart and chest are high. We're working into the shoulders in this position. So reach your arms up overhead. And again, as you exhale, bend into the right elbow, finding Gomukasana arm. So you can either take it here or into the full bound variation, wrapping that left arm behind the back. Breathe here. Lift the chin off the chest. For 3. Nice work. 2 more breaths. And 1. Gently release and switch sides. So the left elbow now bends. Right hand can come to that left elbow, or you can wrap the arm behind you, working your way into the full bind on the second side. I feel my right side a lot more here because I'm right-handed, so it's much tighter for me. You might not be equal on both sides, so just breathe into that space. Nice work. For 3. Good. For 2. On 1, gently release. From here, we'll rock and roll. So come onto your back, build some momentum. Come all the way through, stepping back into a chaturanga. Upward facing dog, in-breath. And downward facing dog as you exhale. Okay, so from down dog, coming to our first dolphin, look at your hands, make sure they're shoulders distance apart. Start to bend into the elbows, slowly coming into a turbo dog. So the elbows are almost touching the ground, looking forward, pressing the weight back into the legs. Breathe here for 3 and 2. On 1, bring those elbows all the way down to the mat. Make sure your arms are parallel and the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. You can bend your knees as much as you need here for a little extra room. And if you don't need those knees bent, legs are straight, heels reaching down towards the mat. And then just walk the feet in a little bit closer so that your shoulders stack over the elbows, and breathe. For 3. For 2. And on 1, look at your hands, push down into the palms of the hands, hugging the elbows in as you straighten the arms, coming back into that short and abbreviated down dog. And again, walking the feet slowly up to the top of your yoga mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, arms reach all the way up and overhead. Find a back bend here. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Okay, so turning to the side of the mat, finding warrior 2. So bringing your right foot to the top of the mat and your left foot back behind you in warrior 2. Arms come out wide to your sides. Breathe in this position. Hands will come behind the back, interlacing fingers, and then we'll just bring your fists onto your right knee, your right thigh. Squeeze the elbows towards each other behind your back. Again, just working into the shoulders. Breathe here. Good. Breathe for 3 and 2. And on 1, you release the arms, taking the hands down inside of the foot and turning onto the outer edge of the left foot. So all 10 toes point to the right side of your yoga mat. From here, come into a side plank, lifting that right leg up. Now, you can bring the right peace fingers and grab hold of the right toes, or you can simply just reach the leg up and breathe. Good. Last breath. And then step that right foot all the way up to the top of the mat. Balancing on the right foot, pull the left knee into your chest as you come to standing. And then either the right hand comes outside of the knee or grabs the outer edge of the foot, coming into a twist. You can shift your gaze over that back left arm here and breathe. Good. And then slowly release this, kicking the left foot behind you and windmilling that right hand to the ground. The left hand comes back in the half moon position. And if it's available, you can bring this into a bind. So grabbing hold of the left foot, kicking the left foot into the hand, opening the heart and the chest. Good, and go ahead and release the bind. Come all the way up to standing at the top of your mat, shaking it out. We'll do the second side here. So left foot, top of the mat or back of the mat, coming into a warrior 2 position, arms wide. And again, we want to get those shoulders open here for our pincha. So bring the hands behind your back and interlace your fingers, and then just rest the fists on the left thigh. Squeeze the elbows towards each other and drop low into that left knee. Find your breath here. Good. Breathe for 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and release the hands. Windmill those hands down inside of your left foot, coming onto the back right toes, and then turn all 10 toes to the left, facing the left side of your mat, coming into a side plank, hovering the left leg, or you can take the peace fingers to the big toe on that left foot. Otherwise, just keep the leg extended and breathe for 3, for 2, and on 1, we step the foot all the way up to the top of the mat, balancing on the left foot as you come to standing, pulling the right knee into the chest. Your left hand can come to the right knee, or you can grab the outer edge of the foot, reaching back with your right arm, finding a balancing twist. So this gets into the IT band and the back of the hamstring as well. Again, really helpful for when we're in our dolphin or our Pincha prep. Good, and slowly release this, windmilling the hands down. So left hand comes to the ground and right hand sweeps back to our half moon position. And then we take this into a bind only if it's available for your body. Grabbing hold of the back foot, kicking the foot into the hand, pressing the pelvis forward, rolling the shoulders open, and reaching your heart towards the front of your mat. For 3, for 2, and on 1, gently release it, stepping all the way up to the front of your mat. Roll up your spine and shake it out. Okay, nice work. So we'll come back up to the top of the mat here and we'll return to our squatting position. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, right back down to squat. Same thing here with the shoulders. So reach your arms up, bending into the right elbow and taking the full Gomukasana bind. So the right elbow is up, walking your feet a little closer together. Now, only if this is available for you, shift the weight into that left leg and see if you could extend the right leg forward out in front of you. Pull the head of the left shoulder back, breathing here for 3, and 2, and 1. Release, and we'll switch sides. So bringing the left arm up, finding that full or half Gomukasana arm variation. Lift the chin off the chest, and then shifting the weight into the right leg, seeing if you could extend left leg forward. Breathing here for 3, for 2, and 1. Coming back into that squatting position, releasing the arms down. Again, we'll rock and roll here. So rock and roll against the back, coming all the way forward, and then stepping back into plank and lowering through your vinyasa. Chaturanga to up dog, downward facing dog. All right, again from down dog, we'll find our turbo dog. So look at your hands, shoulders distance. Bend the elbows and hover them above the mat for 3. Squeezing into the midline for 2. On 1, releasing the elbows down, making sure your arms are parallel. Now this time in dolphin, we'll begin to walk the feet close together towards each other and lift your right leg up and back behind you. So the left leg is down, the right leg is lifted. Try to squeeze your inner upper thighs towards each other so you're not opening your hip and arching your back. The hips are neutral. Imagine like you had a dollar bill between your thighs and you could squeeze that. For 3. Good, 2. And 1, we'll switch sides. So bring the right leg down, lift the left leg up, squeeze that imaginary dollar bill. Breathe here for 3. You're doing great work for 2. And 1, release. Gaze at the hands, push into the palms to extend the arms to straight, coming back into that downward facing dog. And from down dog, step the right foot up to the top of the mat, turning the left heel down. Bring your hands to your hips, come all the way up to standing. Okay, from here, hands behind the back, fingers interlaced. Again, another really good shoulder opener. Rolling the shoulders back, take an in-breath, and as you exhale, we'll fold forward over the front right leg. So working on the back of the leg once more, the hamstrings and the shoulders. Take a couple of breaths here in this position. You could always lift the front toes off the mat if you'd like. Breathing for 3, for 2, and on 1, release the hands down inside of the right foot. Sweep the right leg all the way up and around, letting the right foot get heavy and the right hand get light. So we're coming into wild thing. Lift the heart and chest up, reach that right arm all the way up overhead. Should feel really good. Big stretch. Good, and then place the right hand down and step the right foot all the way up to the top of your mat, coming into standing splits, lifting the left leg. For 3, and 2, on 1. Slowly come out of it, releasing the left foot down to meet the right foot. Bend your knees, grab opposite elbow. We're gonna do the second side. So just let your head hang here for a breath or 2. And when you're ready, release the hands down and step the right foot to the back of the mat, setting the right heel down. Hands to your hips, come all the way up to standing. Okay, so let's do the second side here. Hands behind your back, switch the interlace of the fingers by 1. Shoulders roll open, take a big breath. And as you exhale, fold over the front leg. Again, getting into the hamstring on that left leg and the shoulders. Good. And then release your hands down, placing them inside of the left foot. Sweeping the left leg up and back, and let that left foot get heavy and the left hand get light. And then lift your hips up and reach that left arm all the way out overhead. So big stretch here. Again, should feel really good. All right, and then slowly come back around, stepping the left foot up to the top of the mat, coming into standing splits. That right leg lifts. For 3, for 2, and 1, release. Bring the feet down, place the hands down, and step back into your down dog. Release the knees to the mat. Okay, so now we're going to be working with our full Pincha Mayurasana. We've had a lot of prep. We've opened the shoulders, we've opened the hamstrings, we're working towards this position. So we're going to attempt it now without using a wall. So I want you to be very mindful that you're not using momentum to kick up and over, but that you're using strength and stability and a stacking of your joints. Okay, so we're not going to use any big momentous kicks. So what you will do is place your hands down. You can interlace your fingers like so. Just make sure your elbows don't go wider than your shoulders. We want a triangle shape between our hands and our elbows. It's the most stable structure. This is not very stable to balance on. So keeping in here, or keeping your hands and forearms in a parallel position like this, okay? So coming on down. And as you're here, just kind of check your alignment, make sure everything's good. And then your gaze is gonna actually be forward at the top of your mat rather than looking back through your arms. So find a gazing point at the top of your mat, tuck your toes, and return into your dolphin position. And then from dolphin, lift one leg up and back behind you. Now, we're not gonna do these big, huge hitch kicks like this, right? We're gonna lift the leg up to the height that you can get it up. And without swinging the leg, keep it lifted, bend the bottom knee. And just take little baby hops off the bottom foot without moving the top leg at all. And see, you might just be able to balance up there, bending the bottom knee into the chest. You might be able to extend both legs to straight. Okay, whatever version is available for you. You might just be working here today, little baby hops off that bottom foot without swinging the top leg. It stays exactly where it is. It's the bottom leg that does the work. And you squeeze that
dollar bill between your inner thighs to help you pull everything into the midline here. Okay, and then when you're ready, you try the opposite leg. So whatever leg you didn't lift the first time, your non-favorite side, you try the second time. Little baby hop-ups off of that second leg. Maybe just pull the knee into the chest, squeeze that imaginary dollar bill, and legs extend up. When you're upside down, think about rotating your inner thighs back behind you. So in this direction, as your inner thighs roll back, the tailbone moves down, the belly pulls in, the front ribs pull in, and the heart moves forward. So everything's drawing to the midline, really tight, really strong, really stable. Give it one more try, coming up into that pincha. And when you're ready, you'll come down and rest in a child's pose. So just catch your breath, take a few rounds of breath here. And from child's pose, bring your knees together and reach your hands back, grabbing hold of the ankles. You want to bring your forehead down towards the mat and the knees. As you hold on to your ankles, push the shins down and lift your hips up. This is a really good counter pose to Pincha and to everything that we've been doing in our practice. So take a couple breaths here. Feel your shoulder blades moving apart, away from the spine. Good. And then gently release. Coming back up to seated. Take the legs out in front of you. Good. Take the arms out in front of you. Wrapping the right arm under the left for eagle arms. Lift eagle arms up, elbows off the chest. Shift your gaze up. Again, try to spread the shoulder blades apart, away from the spine. Good, and then second side. So the left elbow under the right, lift the elbows up, shoulder blades spread, heart lifts. Breathe. Good, release that. Just bend into the right knee and step it over the left leg, coming into a twist. So you can hook the left elbow to the knee, gaze over the back shoulder. And then second side, unwind. Step the left foot over the right leg, hooking elbow to knee. And again, gaze over that back shoulder on the left side. Breathe here. Good, and then slowly release and find your way all the way down onto your back for final resting pose, Shavasana. As always, I highly recommend taking at least 5 minutes in your Shavasana, especially for a 30-minute practice. Take as much time as you can, allow the benefits of the practice to soak in, forget about whatever happened so that you can show up fresh and ready to try again tomorrow. I'll see you guys then.